Hi folks, Chris Graham here with the man of the moment, as to be saying, Ross Clarke. I know. Look, I don't know if you've been following Twitter over the last couple of days, but Ross picked up an incident that happened last month in a race at Chelmsford. He picked it up, he mentioned it on Twitter, and it snowballed from there to the point where the BHA have been sort of indirectly. Anyway, let Ross will take you through it all. So just take us through the chain of events, where they started, and to being in the Guardian yesterday.
Yes, I was just, as you do, trawling through kind of social media, and I just happened to notice that the jockey there's an old Racing Post report just saying that a jockey had received a 7-day ban for using a modified whip. And I thought, a 7-day ban if the whip is modified, in this era of welfare to the horse, which is all important. Let's just try and see what happened. So I went onto the BHA website, and strangely, that's my chair creaking, I think, by the way. But strangely, there was no report from the independent panel 3 weeks later on why the jockey was banned, what was the case. And so I just tweeted saying, let's try and find out some more about this. Andrew Mount from GG got involved and said he'd heard that there had been some elastic bands around the horse. Yeah. And then
there was a lot of people.
A lot of people responded, going, "This is outrageous. If this is true, why is there no comment from the BHA?" Basically, forcing the BHA to comment on what was going on. Yeah. And it turned out that the jockey rode a horse that had been gambled from 100 to 1 into 10 to 1, and won. And there is video footage of the rider's whip, and there are 2 elastic bands wrapped around the end, which presumably hurt the horse in some way, because the vet reported subsequently that the horse had been marked by the whip. So just bringing it to light, and with the help of some various other people on Twitter, we managed to get the BHA to already say that their penalties for jockeys using modified whips are insufficient. Sure. I've got mentioned on the BBC. And
I think you tweeted it on Tuesday, was it? And Wednesday it really kind of snowballed.
Wednesday,
a lot of people got involved, and then Thursday,
some of the bigger newspapers picked it up. I spoke to a BBC journalist, Frank Keogh, who's done a story on the BBC, and then I spoke to Greg Wood of the Guardian eventually about the case, and basically got mentioned on the BBC and in the Guardian as kind of leading the way. In how this case was handled, and getting the BHA to agree to review the punishments and whether their rules are sufficient to cover cases of this nature.
And your background is journalism.
My background is journalism. I worked at the Racing Post, I worked at the Telegraph. So, kind of my old spider senses got going when I read the story. And it's just great to be involved in something that, there's actually going to be a fundamental change to the rules as a result of it. There's probably going to be more, I suspect, to come out about the case. I think the BHA, even though they won't comment, I think it's now generally believed that they are investigating the betting patterns surrounding the race, so there may be more to come, and the disciplinary panel findings, I'm told, will be released at some point in the next few days. Yeah. So it'll be intriguing to see what the jockey's explanation was for why there were 2 elastic bands wrapped around the bottom of his whip. But, I think we can all agree that one of the most important issues facing racing at the moment is welfare. And for a horse to be marked because of a whip that has been modified, or whether it was accidentally there or on purpose there, we still don't know for sure. But
it's maybe the information today, just after we come off.
Today or Monday, I think.
Today on Monday, right.
Today or Monday, in the next few days, the disciplinary panel's findings will be released, and they should state the reasoning behind the jockeys having the elastic band. So we don't know that for sure. Yeah. All we do know is that the BHA's chief regulatory officer Brant Dunshea has already said that the penalties are far too lenient.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have played a small role
Absolutely.
in getting that
No, you should be proud of that.
through.
Yeah, thanks everybody. GG, well done, well played. And let's see what happens. You've brought to attention a really important issue, and like you say, crucial to horse racing and the perception of horse racing in the present and indeed in the future. So yeah, well done. Let's see what happens.